Hey guys, what is going on? This is the GTA Wise guy and welcome back to another GTA 5 video. Now in this one, rather than it being a video about an unreleased car, we're going to be taking a look at one of the new cars. Now obviously this is in my modded GTA 5 version. I've unlocked all the other unreleased cars, but this car has actually come out today in GTA Online that we're going to be covering, which is the Pegassi Tezeract, which is this thing here. Now I asked my followers on Twitter, if you're not following me on Twitter, it's at GTA Wise guy. I asked my followers on Twitter, what is this car based off? And it's based off the Lamborghini Terzo Millenio, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it's basically just this mad electric car. Apparently it's a self-healing car. I don't know how that's going to apply to this, if Rockstar have just ignored it or they've just used the design. I don't know. At least the front is based off it. I'm not too sure about the back. But we've got these mad electric motor things, I believe these are. I'm not too familiar with electric cars. I'm not going to be giving you loads of electric car trivia. Now I do apologize for my lack of knowledge on these supercar, hypercar things. I'm not a massive fan of supers and stuff like that. You guys know I like the ordinary car that you can turn into something crazy. But in the previous videos, we've taken a look at the Jester Classic, the Dominator GTX, the Rune Cheburek, the Flash GT, the Izzy Classic, and yesterday we checked out the Vapid Ellie, which is based on the Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. If you guys want to check that video out, I'll leave a link to a card up in the corner in case you missed it. But without further ado, we'll get on to doing the Pegassi Tezeract, and you guys know that we do custom variants of each car, but for this Tezeract, I'm not too sure. I'm not too hyped about doing a supercar like that. I have done a supercar before, like the Pegassi Tempesta, which is based on the Lamborghini Huracan. And I did have fun doing this one. It was one of my favorite car mods so far. It was a Liberty Walk kit that I'd done for it, and I think it turned out pretty well. So if you guys have any ideas for what I could do for the Tezeract, I could just completely tear it apart, turn it into something crazy and ridiculous, and just completely destroy it, and probably trigger some purists, some Lamborghini purists. But without further ado, we'll get into the car, see what the design is like, get into customization, and also check out some performance. And if you guys are new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe. I'll be covering the rest of the unreleased vehicles, which are the Tyrant. I should get rid of that Ellie there because we've already done it. So we've got the Tyrant left and we've got the Michelli GT. So let me know down in the comment section what one you want to see next, and the most popular request will be the one that I go to do next. The Tezeract was the most popular request in yesterday's video, which is why I'm doing this one now. And it is out in GTA Online, and the price tag is $2,825,000. So that's quite a hefty price tag for a car like this. I probably wouldn't fork out this much for it, but it depends what we can do to it. But without further ado, we'll get onto the customization now. Initial thoughts, sound. So of course it's electric, so we don't get any crazy sounds to come with the car. Acceleration, I imagine it should be blisteringly quick. You can see it just keeps going and going and going, which is what you would expect from an electric car. It slows down a bit as you get into the higher numbers. But let's try a launch. Not very impressive. It doesn't completely jet off. After about 20 miles per hour, it starts to really kick up. The turning doesn't seem great, like the handling. It seems very difficult handling wise. This handling is awful on this thing, man. Hopefully the performance upgrades will do it some justice. It could be to do with the weight of it. I don't know. That's pretty weird. We'll have to test it out properly later with all the performance upgrades on. Let's just take a quick look around the car, see some of the design choices that Rockstar have gone for. Now, one thing that sticks out a lot on this car is these three suspension struts which are on the front of the car. Rockstar have done this before in some other cars, but this one seems like a lot more detailed. These are very detailed, like 3D model wise. Hopefully we can color those. You can see that the springs are actually black. The car's black at the minute, but maybe we can change that as well, and they'll change the color of the car. The interior looks pretty insane. We've got some mad dials that swoop off the dashboard there, and there's loads of carbon bits of trim, but generally simplistic for a supercar, I imagine, due to what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a lightweight, fast machine. The wheels, which are quite interesting, to say the least. The actual design of the wheel, if we ignore those orange bits behind it, they're kind of weird. Now it looks like from this angle, the orange bits that are going around the inside of the rim of the wheel, which curve inwards, look like they're cutting through the brake caliper, which they actually are. You can see they're just sort of going straight through that brake caliper, which is kind of disappointing. Hopefully I thought Rockstar would have tried to avoid that happening. But you can generally see that it curves right into the edge of the brake disc, so it just misses it. So they must have forgot about the brake caliper being there itself. Now, I hope these are colorable. I believe they might be emissive at night. We'll see. We'll actually jump in the car now. We'll turn it to nighttime, because I know I took a look at the concept for this car. I believe this is still in the concept stage, but they revealed it at a motor show sometime last year, I believe. But in the concept, the wheels actually glow at night. So the wheels don't glow. Actually, we need to turn the lights on. So the wheels don't glow. Now, I could make that happen. With a custom car variant, I could make those wheels glow. I know how to do that with a certain material. So if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comment section. If there is enough interest on this video, if we get enough likes, I'll go and do a custom variant of this if you guys want to see it. You completely go crazy with it if we wanted to, but I'm not too enthusiastic about it at the minute if you guys aren't. But if you guys want to see something crazy, let me know down in the comment section, and if it gets me hyped, then I'll probably go and do it. Electric cars just completely go over my head. They don't interest me enough, but obviously we've got no exhaust because it's an electric car, but we've got this mad diffuser at the back. We've got these funky lights and all these vents at the back as well. Obviously to keep the electric motors cool. We'll see what the car's like when we open up all the doors as well. Right, so what bits can we open? Right, let's open the doors. So obviously we've got gull wing doors, which is a cool touch. The rear left and the rear right, obviously we don't have those rear doors. The hood doesn't do anything. The trunk doesn't do anything. So we can't pop the back up there to see any mad electric motors or anything. It's literally just the doors that you can open. Kind of disappointing. I was hoping for some like mad fleshed out stuff at the back there. Now the design, the body lines of this car are pretty insane. Not as insane as the actual concepts that are seen for the actual Lamborghini Terzo Millenio, but obviously Rockstar have to keep the poly count down with these crazy supercars to keep the game performance as it is. But regardless, it still looks pretty decent for what it's supposed to be. So we do actually have front bumpers. We've got the primary extension, which is just a little lip. That's not a recycled one. That's something new specific for this car. Got the secondary and carbon extension. We've got the primary sports splitter. So there's a little cutout at the front there. Looks a bit more a race car. And we do actually have a race splitter, which I'm not sure what it's changed in. I literally have no idea what that's changing. Oh, so the race splitter just puts like a trim around the rest of the car. So that primary, you can see where it cuts off. So it's just going to be like a carbon splitter, but you've just got that lower trim on it. So I think to go with the wheels, we're going to have that secondary race splitter. I presume that secondary color, which is orange, obviously is what's on the wheels as well. The rear bumper, so we can have, you can see that diffuser, there's quite a lot of detail in it. There's actually some like wires which are holding it up. A very cool detail by Rockstar, so they're not just floating there. We've got a custom diffuser, so that connects the middle bit. Competition diffuser, which is like it comes a lot lower down, which this time doesn't have the rods on it, even though it's lower down, but it connects a bit lower on the car. Nice and swooping, completely. It's not recycled, specific to the car. Primary competition differential, so that's going to be a trim underneath the diffuser on each bit there. Yeah, so we'll go with that secondary competition diffuser to get that trim going with the rest of the car. The wheels are not going to change them, but can we change the wheel color? So we can change the base wheel color. I presume you're not going to be able to do this in GT Online with the stock wheels unless you do that iFruit glitch. I'm not too sure how you do it, but for now, I think we'll probably leave them black until we can decide what color we're going with for the rest of the car. The headlights, of course, we're going to do Xenon to keep it looking modern. Primary color, let's go with something crazy, shall we? Bluish silver, that'll probably go pretty nice if we can get some trim to go with that. Alright, so we'll leave the bluish silver on the primary. Secondary is going to be all this trim around the car. Yet, so the secondary color is actually applied to the wheels on those little bits that go around as well. Pink and white. That actually looks pretty cool. It's a very girly combination, but for some reason on this car it works nicely. I've never been into that color scheme before, but it looks cool. We've got the orange, which just comes on the car normally. We've got yellow, that works pretty nicely with it. Bit of a Lamborghini yellow. I know Lamborghini use yellow on a lot of their cars. Can move on to lime green. Kind of works all right. I'm probably going completely rice with this, but it's a supercar and it looks ridiculous, so I don't care. Blue. Blue's very nice with it.
Don't you look pretty?
We'll go with that ultra blue actually. Yeah, that ultra blue works nicely. So obviously we've got that very light tint of blue on the car as well, with that bluish silver, and then we've got that secondary ultra blue to go with it. So I think blue is probably going to best that we can go for. And like I said before, the suspension points on the car, those actual springs, they do change color with the primary color, which is a good touch by Rockstar. Can we change the interior color, the accent color? I don't think that's going to change anything. No, it's not. But the trim color, we can change the interior. And we'll probably go for like a lightish blue, bluish silver to go with the rest of the car. Anything else is probably going to make it look horrible.
Brakes
So
are
for
in.
chassis. Ooh, that's cool. So we can change it from primary color springs to secondary color springs on the shocks. And then we've got chrome ones. So if you just want them a bit more shiny on the front there, you can do that. Lit shocks, hidden shocks. So you can hide them completely. That's a cool touch. Wonder whether that would have been an option. But if you want to keep it looking nice and clean and you don't want those exposed, you can do. And now when it says they're lit, hopefully that means they're going to light up at night. Let's just take a look if we go outside. Ooh, so we've got roof options. Livery, got roof flag. Flag stripes, so we've got Italian stripes on there. Obviously Lamborghini is Italian. We've got sprunk, so we've got like a racing livery. We've got junk, another racing one. Mine macked. I actually done a mine macked livery for the gauntlet. And I'm quite happy with the way they've done that one, which is pretty cool. Home Jana, never know how to pronounce that one. With the cell tower bits on there as well. That looks pretty cool, you can make that work. Debonair, with a Chappelle logo on the top, glow boil, all the usual stuff. And we've got glow boil with the orange. So all this secondary trim could probably work nicely with all these liveries. But you'll probably be restricted by the livery. This blue one, I suppose, works with the trim that I've got on the car, or the blue on it. But without further ado, I'm kind of tempted to put the Italian flag on because the actual Terzo Millenio does have like an Italian trim bits just around the car. Not too insane like this livery, but I think we might leave it stock, you know. Yeah, we'll leave it stock. Keep it looking cool, nice. Oh, so we've got spoilers. We've got a hood lip spoiler. Whoa. So that's like a big ergonomic ducktail sort of thing. Got a big lip spoiler, which is even bigger. We'll have to put that one on. Got the split aero. That's sort of like an FXXK spoiler, I believe. Like the LaFerrari FXXK. I don't know if this is going to be on this car when it actually releases, or if it was on the concept. We've got the aggressor spoiler. So we've got aggressor spoiler, which is kind of cool. A competition where it's split in the middle. That's sort of like a Regera spoiler, if I'm not mistaken. And then we've got a GT spoiler, which is just another... Oh, no, it's not a recycled one. It's got big bits that come down at the side there. The only problem with these spoilers is they don't have proper mounting points at the bottom, which is why I don't really like those ones, just like they're floating on them. But I think the one we're going to go for is the big lip spoiler. That's kind of nice and sweeping one at the back. For a turbo one, there's actually quite a lot of customization for a car like this. I'm quite surprised. But then again, I don't really like to customize these cars when they come out to GT Online anyway. And I've not covered a lot of the other recent ones. So let's go see what these lit shocks do at night. Now, remember, I've unlocked a certain version of the game where I don't have all of the scripts working for this new DLC. So if they're working on GT Online and they're not working for me, just let me know down in the comment section if any of you guys have unlocked this car. So you can see they are emissive. There are some other emissive bits around the car which I've not noticed. But I would have liked those wheels to be... So there is a little bit on the electric motor which is lit up and emissive. Just this little bit in the center of the electric motor. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Like a... Oh, I don't know. I don't do electric cars, so don't come hating on me. And we've also got the springs there, which are actually emissive as well. They're lit up a little bit. Now, there's obviously no light source coming off them. It's just the texture, which is popping a little bit more. Now, does that change with the secondary color? Is it just going to stay like that? Yeah, so it does change with the secondary color, which is a cool touch. But we'll keep them on. They look pretty cool. So obviously you can't really see it in the daytime, but at night they do light up a bit more. It's just a shame that the wheels don't light up like they do in the actual concept in real life. I might do that on my custom variant if I get around to doing that. My spoiler isn't the one that I chose. There we go, we got the big lip spoiler on. Now let's upgrade all of the performance parts and let's take it for a bit of a spin. The handling's awful, man. It's just a big boat. Obviously big electric cars like this weigh a lot. Obviously it's got a low center of gravity, but I don't know how much this is going to play into Rockstar's handling of this car, but it is certainly shoddy on the corners, as far as I know. I could be completely wrong. I'm not really one for racing supercars in online. I tend to just, stay to the streets. Personally, I don't think this is worth $3 million. Obviously, with all the upgrades in online as well, it's probably going to come to at least 3.5 million. Probably even more. It does get quick though, 125 miles per hour. That's breaking the normal 120 miles per hour barrier for the game. And it gets pretty quickly. But if you guys get it in GT Online and you know if it's faster than any other cars, let me know down in the comment section. I'm sure Bruffy's covered this car already. So I'm probably going to check that out after this video. But without further ado, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. The design's pretty cool for what it's supposed to be. And there's some cool touches to it with the suspension, and the actual trim around the car works nicely. Just a shame about the wheels not lighting up like the actual struts, like because they've got the lit shocks option. But regardless, it's a pretty cool design. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know as well what car I should be doing next. And anyway guys, that's pretty much all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.